Second Chance, a good record.
It's an angry one.
Trivium and What the Dead Men Say. I know we talked about it last week, but it takes me a little bit of time, a week or two, couple weeks actually. Because what was it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
It was last week.
Was it just last week? So
It came out the same Friday as Elders.
Yeah, so that was a week ago. Yeah. It takes me a few days to get my head around some things once in a while. I don't care how fucking good it is. Usually the better it is, the longer it takes me to kind of get my head around it.
Right, especially if it comes out of a time when you're not really expecting a whole lot of good shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like the old 1-2 punch. Like, no, we'll give you 2 good shits.
Yeah. Yeah, last week was kind of that rare thing, and then this week, then naturally I'm kind of let down. There's not a lot of great releases. We'll check in with LJ around the corner. Better him than us.
He's the one that can find the beauty in the rough fucking weekend of releases that I think we've had.
It's a lot of black metal this week and some grindcore. A lot of really heavy shit that I'm just not into. But
yeah,
that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I'm not into it.
My idea of heavy is like, well, the Trivium fucking album's pretty heavy. It's not my definition of heavy. I'll listen to some death metal when I got to be in the mood for it, though, man.
Yeah.
I don't put that on the background when I'm, like, fucking playing a game or pleasuring myself in any way, shape, or form. I like to set a mood.
It's the same as power metal. I'm good for, like, 5 minutes on any power metal, and I'm good. I'm good for a couple weeks, probably.
Yeah. I used to that first Glory Hammer album. I still think is pretty good. It is a power metal album, but it's one of those rare ones. Like, we know we are, motherfucker. That's why the songs are about ridiculous myths. Well, the Angus McFife song, that's based in reality. That's like Scottish lore, isn't it?
Angus McFife? I have no idea.
Either that or that's just something they made up some Scottish goddamn tale that they just wrote a whole goddamn concept album over. Oh, man. Yeah, I agree with you. Power metal every once in a while. And that's more just kind of give me a little boost. Just like a little,
Good. Put a little spring in your step. But like I said, man, 5 minutes of that, I'm good.
That's why you have to be really careful the band that you pick. Because you can pick a good one or you can pick a bad one.
Would you make an argument that Tyr is almost power metal? Ooh. It has a lot of elements.
Yeah.
I mean, it's missing like the double drum blast stuff, but...
And they're kind of starting to pick up their harmony game a little bit. They're getting there, for sure. I would even say, like, putting in, I don't know, Evening Star, it's not really a ballad. It just sounds like one, but it's not. Right. That might be one of the heavier songs on the fucking album, not just sonically, but fucking lyrically and everything. Lay of Our Love. Yeah. Now that's a power ballad right there.
Right. Evening Star, really, really dig the guitar tones on the leads on that.
Yeah, I could.
Tyr's not a band I'd recommend to most people, but if you're one of the holdovers that you liked folk metal 12, 15 years ago,
right,
you're all right. If you haven't checked out the Lay of Thrym, that's probably one to start with.
I would even say if you're a fan of Amon Amarth, give them a shot. I'm not guaranteeing you'll like them.
I'm almost thinking you'd probably know who they are, though, if you're a fan of Amon Amarth.
True, yeah. If you're in any kind of Nordic metal, you should be Tyr should be at least in your top 5 for sure.
But I mean, if you're a power metal guy, that and you never really kind of went that direction with a lot of Faroese metal and stuff, you might want to check that out.
Right. And if you like one song, you'll probably like most of them because the dude's vocal stylings are exactly the same, man.
This track sounds just like the one before that and the one before that.
Yeah.
You've got me. I'm into it now.
That's why you got to just pick one album and stick with it. Don't venture out past that because it'll ruin it for you.
Yeah. Shit, I don't know, man. I feel like my mood should be a little better than what it is. But this continued fucking quarantine shit. People are using this. This is the new political thing. You know how people used to be like, oh, Donald Trump is great. Donald Trump is terrible.
DT doing it.
You know, I mean, the two sides of it, and I just get tired of it and block them both out. The quarantine is now the new fucking thing. Of people saying, well, we're all going to fucking, our whole economy is going to collapse if we don't start getting some things going again. If you believe the small business is the backbone of America, then, and small businesses are the only ones that are shut down with all this. Fucking go to Lowe's, go to Walmart, go to any of the big box stores. God damn, it's a crowd.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Which is completely against what they say it's supposed to be.
Yeah. You're still fucking around people.
So you get some people that are basically saying, yes, we're all going to die if we don't reopen things pretty fast. And then you have the other side where people are like, well, just stay home. We'll be good by 2021, 2022. It's like, motherfucker, it's been like 45 days and people are already losing their shit. And you motherfuckers are the first ones going to fall.
Right.
I swear to God, I encounter one of those people face to face. I don't know. I can't guarantee what's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. Very rarely will these exchanges happen fucking eye to eye.
Rare. It's a keyboard warrior thing.
Fuck yeah, man. They can say whatever they want, and all you can do is reply in similar fashion, but fucking no one's ever going to say that to your face, ever.
This nasty friend of mine, she used to live in Lubbock. She moved to Fort Worth. And she's on fucking Facebook screaming at people, because typing in all caps like she's some kind of elderly person or whatever. But
cool.
Telling people to stay the fuck home, blah, 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 blah. And then throwing it out there, it's like, well, I'm in the medical industry and la, la, la. This bitch works in billing for a doctor's office. Like, you're right there at the front lines of the medical industry, aren't you? Fucking having to work from home, but, and bitching about people getting out in public when they don't need to be. She fucking, and then yesterday, takes a photo of a fucking Starbucks that she stopped and got some Starbucks. Like, really, bitch? So you're trying to tell people how unessential they are and how nobody needs to be out, but yet you're out. The fuck is that?
Wow. Well, dude, that's...
Well, it's the 21st century hypocrisy is what it is.
Yeah, because Facebook is now the soapbox of every person.
Have you noticed here, man, you could scroll back. It wouldn't take a long scroll either to get back to the first of the year for me. I mean,
yeah. Oh, dude.
Fridays I'll post instrumental surf music from the 50s and 60s. And that's about the only thing. You might see 2 or 3 posts tops through the week. Probably not. I don't want to post the one for today because I do it every Friday on my personal shit. And I'm like, oh, last time I did this was last week's fucking tune.
Well, well, shit, man. You look at mine over the past 365 days, you're just really going to see a lot of pictures and very sparse, comments from me.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That's how it should be. All you need to know from me is there's a picture of an actor. That actor's probably dead now.
Right.
Or, hey, the 49ers seem to be doing really good, and it's January. Even better. Look at that. That's all you need to glean from me.
Yeah.
You want to know more? Listen to this shit.
Right. It's... Because the problem you have now, everybody is bored because everybody is fucking locked in, a self-lockup. So they're bored. So they're looking for things to set themselves off. And if you post some shit that's even halfway fucking up, something's up for debate, you're going to get some bored motherfuckers coming after you.
Right. And bored usually pairs with pissed as well.
Yeah, it does. Because people let too many things influence them, and then it manifests itself out of some shit that they're typing on a keyboard.
Right. It's amazing to see all these people on Facebook just fucking tearing at one another, man.
Yeah.
And you know that if they were in the aisles of any supermarket and walking by, they might not give each other eye contact, but you damn well bet they're not going to talk to each other that way.
Man, it's funny on one hand, but God damn, it's depressing on the other. It's like, well, this is where we are as a society now, where it's completely acceptable to just immediately start fucking calling somebody names because you don't agree with something they just posted.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. Facebook was initially shit just for universities. You had to be a college student to have Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The only reason I got one is because I was going to Eastern back in 06, 07.
Damn, you're an early adopter.
Yeah, I just went to get that sweet loan money and get myself a Facebook account, and I dropped out 2 weeks later. That's not true.
Only reason I even have an account on Facebook is basically because MySpace went tits up. So
yeah, MySpace was the shit, dude.
You didn't have all this. You didn't have all this fucking controversy and shit.
Yeah, man. It was for porn and bands.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, personalize your little page, drop a fucking track or two in there, right on.
Fuck yeah.
This is who I am, bitch.
And then you can put a counter on there, so you'd be like, look, people looked at my shit 500 times, motherfuckers. It's all right, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
God.
And then some other people I thought would probably always be close personal friends of mine. Well, and these are the same people that move away. I think I've already gone off on this before. I hate to fucking keep beating the same ground over and over. Yeah, you move away from here, and then you expect me to go visit you. No. If you were living here and I was living here, we were friends, and you move away, go, hey, you got to come see us. No, you got to suck this dick because I'm not going to go see you. Now, it's not going to happen.
What about this? What if you move away from Portales somewhere else?
I will come back to Portales to see motherfuckers if that's what I want.
But what if it's the person that, like, moved away? Now that you're somewhere else, and they're like, hey, we should hang out. What are the rules then?
Oh, is it the same town? Or is it just...
No, like, say you moved to the West Coast, and this person already moved to the East Coast.
Oh, well,
so
then
now,
we're done. We're done.
Oh, so now it's like, I'm never going to see you
never.
again?
Never go to see you. Never. Nope. Unless you become really, really wealthy and famous, in which case maybe,
I will rear my ugly head at that point.
Hit the lottery, some shit like that, you bet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Become a star. Kick-ass podcast on the internet.
So how's your week? You back to cooking breakfast again? Like a fucking weird E.B. Farman and Richardson fucking weird coalition there?
No, I am back to working nights starting next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be a positive. That means we're back to... Because some things are starting to get a little back to normal here.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing, though. That's the only nights we're open. All the other nights, the 4 other remaining nights, closed.
Just only open because of you?
I think only open because the honcho of the hotel is tired of working 16-hour days, basically.
Oh, God damn. Well, who wouldn't be?
Yeah. So I guess finally they're like, okay, we'll open up for these nights.
And so it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the rest of the week can go fuck itself.
So I get to tell people like, hey, guess what? Things are normal when I'm here. And then they go back to not being normal, but my ass won't be there.
Yeah.
So, you know. Here's what I'm worried about. Like if it's become like an outlaw fucking town after 10 o'clock. I haven't seen that hotel after hours in about a month and a half. But I'm sure there are people that are aware that there's really no one at the fucking helm there for about 10 solid hours out of a 24-hour day.
I'm reasonably sure that it's no different at 3 a.m. than it is at 11 p.m. So
I want to believe that. I really do.
Yeah, well, and it's only because there is actually a heightened like law enforcement presence thanks to all this shit going on.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, that first night will tell me. Monday night will tell me. And who knows? Maybe next Friday's podcast might be one of the greatest we've ever done. Get to talk about fights again.
Yeah.
And I might get to talk about the first time I got to call the cops here in these trying times.
Maybe. And that is the one thing, we got really excited last week because Dana White had announced 3 fight cards all taking place in the span of 7 days. So we got really excited. Now that reality is settled in, now we're starting to actually get full cards, and who's fighting and what. But yet I don't want to steal next week's thunder. So it's like, man, I don't want to start talking about some of the matchups we have coming up, except for the fact is we might have to, because the fact is I don't know that I want to talk about 3 fight cards on one podcast.
No.
Well, we'd have to talk 2.
Technically 2, yeah.
No, I don't. That might be easier because actually looking at the cards, the bottom end of those are still a little.
Yeah, the May 13th and 16th cards are drastically different from the May 9th card, as it should be, because even though it's all going to be presented pretty much the same, one fight card is going to cost some change, and the other ones are going to be probably ESPN Plus.
May 9th is going to feel like an International Fight Week card. It's going to feel like it.
Yeah. Oh, man. International Fight. Well, that thing has been kind of the drizzling shits as of late.
Only
especially
because
the fight cards always fall through, man.
It always torpedoes the card, right?
Always. It's great if you get to go, because then you get to go to the Hall of Fame thing. Like I got to fucking see Don Fry get inducted into the Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool.
Right.
But
now I've been telling everybody you like touched his junk with your elbow.
I don't know. He would have. My arm would have been right if that was the case. I'd been crippled. Don Fry
grabbed my arm and tore it off and then beat me with it.
Don Fry fucking makes Chuck Norris shit his pants.
Yeah.
And all he has is a mustache. That's all he needs.
He's a big dude. He's still a big dude.
Yeah.
Still take you a good couple of hours to walk around him.
Yeah, that and he has he's had emergency back surgery over the past couple years. So I think his days of moving, like power throws, are probably over.
Oh, yeah.
His wrestling. But I'm sure if he wanted to punch you in your mouth, a really good one, he'd probably still pull that off.
Probably still get the work done.
Yeah. I want to see Don Fry and Tank Abbott fight right now with every ailment they have. I think Tank Abbott might be close to 300 pounds.
Those two motherfuckers like maybe my size or shorter, but
Yeah, no,
they're massive.
Tank is now fat.
Yeah,
That
massive.
Dude, that dude got fat. Don Fry was, well, shit, man. That guy was just meat.
He was always pretty muscular.
Yeah, he was like the same type of body types like Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, this guy's made of wood.
Yeah.
He's just uncomfortable to be around. God damn, but yeah, now that he's older, he's just got a gruff voice, talking like a Southern man, and all he wants to do is get out of this goddamn hospital bed and whip people's ass.
It's going to say a little shocking he didn't go and make a WWE career, but he predated when a lot of your MMA talent would move over to that route.
Not really. This in the mid to late 90s. Let's see, what was it? WrestleMania 13. So that had to be 95. 95, 96, one of those. It was Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The special guest referee was Ken Shamrock.
Great.
And I didn't know it at the time. I was just like, wow, Ken Shamrock. I watched UFC 2. It's that guy. It's the guy that fought Dan Severn and made him tap. And didn't know at the time that he'd actually signed a contract and wasn't fighting in the UFC anymore. So he did it and eventually became a full-time guy. Mm-hmm. Won the Intercontinental belt a couple times. Dan Severn did it too for a lesser period of time.
Right.
He was like representing the NWA.
Well, it didn't really seem like the different wrestling promotions figured out a full, huge story arc for a lot of these wrestlers, that, you know, like they did for Ronda Rousey. You know, they put in this big story arc for her, and smartly so, closing kind of the loop on that. So then that way, because they'd had this assumption, it's like, I don't think this bitch coming back, and they were right.
No, Ronda Rousey has really, really changed. It seems I think she's embracing the heel character of wrestling a little too much in reality.
Even though she's not even in wrestling anymore.
Exactly. Either that, or if she is, it's the biggest fucking work of all time.
I don't know.
Calling wrestling fans basically dumb cunts.
I was a moderate fan of hers, a mild fan. I wasn't a big full on.
Ronda Rousey.
I mean, I liked watching her fight. It was like, goddamn, when's she going to grab that arm and finish this thing up?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it just got crazier and crazier. My problem with any kind of fandom became when Holly Holm beat her, and she did that whole big weird tour on talk shows, daytime talk,
telling people how she wanted to kill herself and shit.
It's like, bitch, what do you mean you're thinking about taking your own? I mean, look, if you're having some other issues in life, knock yourself out. But you lost a fight. Everybody loses a fight, every fight on a card.
And she never wanted to talk about it. Still doesn't want to talk about it to this day. Yeah. Especially the Amanda Nunes fight. Doesn't want to talk about that either. Clearly, she was not. You have to fucking be prepared to lose, right?
You would think.
I would even think Khabib, in the back of his mind, is always prepared for a loss. If he's,
I always am.
Well, yeah. Well, that not prepared, just praying and hoping and just squeezing those rosary beads as tight as we can. But you got to prepare for that loss, especially if you're undefeated. We've seen it fuck up. Like, look at Cody Garbrandt. Dude was undefeated.
Yeah.
Then he got beat twice by T.J. Dillashaw.
You think T.J. was on the gas when he beat him both times?
No, man. He's 135. I think that 125 cut.
That's why
he did it. Yeah. Aspirations of champ.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I blame the promotion for that because they didn't let Conor do it. And then suddenly, when it benefited them, like, oh, well, shit, we're the ones that ultimately decide.
Do you think maybe it's because they knew if someone else did it, like a Cormier or a Cejudo, that they might be able to get their cooperation at a little bit of a premium instead of having to pay Conor McGregor the money he would have deserved for being able to be champ?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Henry Cejudo. This fucking he is not a popular fighter by fucking any means.
Oh no, he is cringe worthy.
He is vilified for rightly so. And a guy posting weird shit on Twitter all the time. Nobody likes the guy. The UFC went out and they threw a pile of money at him. Like, this guy's an Olympic champ. People love Olympians. No, they don't. Not that guy.
Yeah, I mean, Yoel was an Olympian, right?
Yeah.
There were a few out there that were good.
And so was DC. And I will give DC this, is that nobody liked him for a very long time. And it's like, after a while, he kind of grew on you. Cejudo's not growing on anybody.
No.
As a matter of fact, and, you know, when is that Dominic Cruz fight taking place?
Next week.
Is that the 9th?
Cruz and Sahud.
Yeah, that's one fight I'm going to have a problem with. But
I'm just not going to watch it.
yeah.
Both of them can go fuck themselves.
The problem I have is if Cejudo wins, then we got to deal with that sumbitch for another extended period of time. If Dominic Cruz wins, it's like, how many fucking times is this guy allowed just to come straight in from being injured for 2 years and suddenly, it's a title fight again? This guy fights in nothing but title fights. This will be the second in 4 years?
Same reason Cormier is not just going to take no random fights.
Or third in 4 years. But
I mean, you're on TV more than you're in the octagon.
Yeah.
So you're far more valuable as that boy. Pardon me. But once you finally get that fight, they're going to give you the marquee because you're on TV all the time. People are going to know you, especially casuals.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the other thing that's great about being a fan of this sport is because of the fact I don't really have to like either one of them in order to be able to get into a really good fight.
Sure. Oh, yeah. If it's Dominic Cruz fighting a grappler, that should be pretty interesting.
Should be.
Will it be, though? We'll find out next week when we dig into it a little deeper.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too, man. Honestly, that fight card could be anything, and I'd be all right with it. Yeah. It's just getting back to normal.
Right.
And I know it's going to piss people off, like, oh, man.
It already has. There's already people that are angry. Yeah. Angry. People like, yeah, that's what's wrong with Florida. They're letting them have fights there. Yeah, because we need to get the fuck back to normal. And if you don't recognize that, I don't know what world you're living in. Yeah, well, it's a world of fear. But within that weird world of fear is this thing that nobody else can have a good time because you can't. And that's the cuntiest thing I've ever heard of.
Is holding this grudge, even though this shit, one, doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form, unless it was happening in your backyard, which it's not. Or two, it's just you want to shit on everybody's joy.
Sure, and that's it. I mean, people on there, I was on Twitter. And it was over the Albuquerque News Channel, and they'd put up a story about how Texas had a partial reopening of their businesses today, May 1st, as the governor laid out. Motherfuckers are actually saying, I hope that they get hit with a lot more cases now. Why would you wish that on somebody? You know what that makes you, right?
A cunt. Capital K. Right?
Yeah.
That's how it's spelled. Yeah, like I said, man, Facebook, it's everybody's soapbox. They get to come up and say whatever they want. Boy, that's 100%. That's 100% fact.
As bad as Facebook is, Twitter has got to be 10 times worse. The rage on Twitter is palpable. Fucking people, if you, as, I don't know, a governor of a state, don't see eye to eye with this shitbag with some weird fucking little handle, Berkey Bro or some shit like that. If you don't fucking see eye to eye with them, you are clearly an asshole and you're trying to destroy the world that they cherish. It's like, yeah, but you're the motherfucker who wants everybody to be locked down. You're already trying to destroy the world we knew. And then you have other assholes like, well, this is an opportunity for us to change the shit we didn't like. Really, motherfucker? You know what? I hate to break it to you, but money is still the ruler of this universe.
Yeah, love it or hate it. Cash makes the world go round.
And that's where it's at. It's like, well, we can take the power away from all these celebrities and athletes, and we can start to live our lives knowing we're the same as them. What fucking world are you living
motherfuckers?
In? Oh, my God.
It's funny. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe people just want to fucking feel on par with superstars, and the internet will help them do that.
It comes down to mama didn't pay enough attention when they were growing up.
Sure.
And it's like, I want the attention now. I want all the attention. I'll say unpopular shit just so I can get a couple of likes.
Oh, yeah. And, that brings people legitimate joy. Which if that's what gets your rocks off, fucking more power to you.
No, it means you fucking need to go get some mental counseling because you're a goddamn idiot. That's why. With some fucking serious issues.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just, it's not the kind of joy that fuels my life.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to move. Oh, by the way, it's a Mead Metal MMA podcast.
It is? Yeah. God, I thought it was just the goddamn
it's the
KR and B2 shit show.
It's here's what's fucking wrong with this world podcast is what it is.
It's like the grind my gears segment.
Now, the one thing is, as we're, and it doesn't really matter the season. My problem is with all this stuff going on, I've been eating like shit.
Me too.
I mean, once upon a time, I wouldn't drink Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'd crack beer on Thursday and have a few. I'd drink like crazy on Friday and Saturday. And that was it. That was my week.
Right.
And then on top of that, the rest of the week, like, I always do something kind of fancy on Saturday. Or maybe not fancy, but I do a full meal on Saturday.
Sure, yeah.
Sometimes on Friday as well. Sunday is a day for eating those leftovers. Monday, man, I try to like kind of go the straight and narrow and not over the top. I'm not eating fucking kale because I don't suck the dick. I do try to keep things relatively healthful.
Of course.
You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are those are the wheelhouse days. Those 3 days are what save my bacon.
Sure.
Problem is, with this shit going on, fuck you gonna do? I'm home from work 3-4 hours earlier than I'm normally used to. And I come home and go, well, can't hang out with friends. Guess I'll eat my friends in the refrigerator, you know?
I might
and I don't mean that
with my friends as well.
And I don't mean that in a Jeffrey Dahmer way, but
no, that better be delicious if you made it though.
Dude, I had fucking chili cheese tots I think twice this week. I mean, come on, man. I'm
living like a college student.
I am eating like a 14-year-old boy. Like, oh yeah, load up on the fucking ravioli, you know, and it's just bullshit. And it's like I might as well just live on bacon. It'd be cheaper and probably healthier.
Yeah, well, to a point.
But anyway, so having said all that, and why am I bringing all this shit up? Because we have a experiment on the show.
We like social experiments are what I really dig, but I haven't done this before.
We're going to send it over to LJ for the metal update for the week. But what we're going to do, I recognize the one impact I could make aside from just eating like shit. I love drinking Budweiser. I love drinking Budweiser Tall Boys. Now, each one of these, that's a pint. That's the way it should be. I don't know who started fucking the American public with 12 ounces years ago. But
well, now that we got 8-ounce cans,
you
know something's up.
But yeah, I prefer drinking Budweiser, but it's just not. I'm not going to go out and start putting money on a brand new wardrobe because my ass is too lazy to stop drinking Bud. So we had a conversation. I think we even mentioned it maybe last week that we're going to try out some light beers. I think
so. We
have the experiment for this week. We have 2 different light beers you and I are going to try on the show, and we'll get some initial takes on that. It's going to take me just a second to set it up, but if we want to throw it out to LJ and kind of get his segment rolling, then you'll get Brandon and I's direct take on some fucking light beers here in a moment.
Should be interesting. Take it away, LJ.
This is another public service announcement. No, I'm just kidding. It's LJ with the metal portion of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast for the first day of May. Hell yeah. Bet you guys are happy about it being Friday. It's my Tuesday. So, let's get on with this list. First band on the list is called Havok. Havok. The album is called simply V. Or 5. I'm not sure. I didn't look up their discography. So, now, you know you're in for some heavy shit when a music video has a fucking epilepsy warning in the beginning. It's thrash metal. Balls to the wall, these guys are Slayer if their bass player stuck to singing and actually had a good bassist. And by good, I mean way better than Tom Araya. Now, you may find it ironic I hate black metal, but I have a passionate love for straight thrash metal. And it's only because even the most extreme thrash metal has some variety besides the boring fucking blast beat, the Anyway, check out the song Phantom Force and pick up the album if you love metal. And if you're a complete bitch, stay away. Next up, Aetherrealm. Aetherrealm. The album is called Redneck Vikings from Hell. Now, despite the album name, these guys sound to me at least like Avenged Sevenfold if they borrowed Five Finger Death Punch's drummer. And the vocalist reminds me of, well, I can't compare him to anything. It sounds fucking great, though, and I hope that the guys at the Mead Hall like this band because, well, I'm digging it. Gotta say, the band name is cool as shit, and the album name is so fucking stupid that it's literally the coolest name for an album I never thought of. Also, I believe the singer also plays bass, so that's cool. Next band, River Cult. The album is called Chilling Effect. So new, all I could find was shit from their 2018 album, sadly. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. But LJ, that's why you make the big bucks, so we don't gotta look this shit up on our own. Yeah, well, I do. Anyway, they sound like Zeppelin if Zeppelin smoked weed instead of snorting cocaine through their dick holes and shooting smack through their eyeballs. Stoner metal, anyone? Because that's what these guys are. Next band is called One Step From Falling. The album is called Stuck on the Wayside, sorry. The singer sounds like Maynard from Tool, and the band sounds like, well, not Tool. It's cool, though, and the guys at the Mead Hall might like it, and if you don't, then, well, you know the slogan around the Mead Hall. Go fuck yourself. Just kidding. We encourage you to like whatever the hell you want, and just because we don't or do dig it, we are just messengers with a purpose far bigger than ourselves. My job is simply to inform the masses of all things metal and appease the gods of metal. Next band, Witchcraft. The album is called Black Metal. Gee, I wonder what kind of music these guys play. Folk rock, Gregorian chants, bluegrass, knee spoons and a tongue fork? Or what do they call it? A fucking mouth harp or something? Whatever, I don't fucking know. Anyway, it's exactly the opposite of black metal. To my extreme surprise, instead of being fast music with a boring blast beat and screaming, it's boring acoustic guitar, sad lyrics, and actual singing. Talk about false advertising. Although it's not something I hate, it's actually misleading to the point that I actually just have beef with the album's title. It should have been called Sonnets of the Sad or The Depression Collection, The Suicide Sessions. Fucking any of those would have worked tons better. Now I feel like I owe black metal fans an apology. Sorry on behalf of the entire Mead Hall and Loudwire. Next band, Umbrae Vitae. Umbrae Vitae. The album is called Shadow of Life. Oh, what better way to apologize to black metal fans than to have black metal band next on the list? Irony. Kill me now, please. Next, we have the King Diamond Conspiracy and Them re-release. Remember last week how I shamelessly advertised King Diamond's re-releases of 2 older albums and recommended the album Them? Well, now you can get Them in a handy release, eh? See what I did there? Them, the album, and Them as in both of it. Never mind, nobody cares. Next album is Witch's Hammer, Damnation is My Salvation. Now, before we close out my segment, let's open the fucking pit with the last band on the list. Extreme and very shittily recorded. I could get better sound quality on my little pocket tape recorder. Anyway, they're a cross between extreme and thrash and maybe with little black metal sprinkled in there. Kind of like mixing vomit with diarrhea. It's a shitty, gross mess, but it's so heavy. And so underproduced, I just can't help but appreciate that they went through the trouble of playing super complex songs in such shit quality. That takes some massive nuts, I know, because I've done exactly that. So that's your metal update for this week. Yeah, still under lockdown, still under quarantine and stuff like that because of COVID-19. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy your weekend, enjoy some metal, and take it away, Kevin and Brandon. Laters!
Damn. I'm glad he was able to find maybe a little bit more positivity
Than you and I?
in the week than, yeah, exactly. Because I didn't even give any a shot. I couldn't. Nothing jumped out at me at all this week. So now when I go back and listen to this week's podcast, I'll actually be listening extra hard to LJ's because I'm going to have to learn what came out and maybe something I want to listen to. Damn. Yep, this is going to be pretty great.
I think it's going to be horrible. Now, one of these is a beer I used to drink anyway, let's see, 10 years ago. And that's Bud Light Platinum. I can't do normal Bud Light. It gives me an immediate fucking headache. Just
Really?
right in the fucking cortex.
God damn, that's like what Steel Reserve did to me.
Yeah, it's
And that's malt liquor.
there's something about regular Bud Light that is not there in Bud Light Platinum. Now I've had other people tell me they've had that experience with Platinum and not regular Bud Light. I don't know. Everybody's fucking different. But
Yeah.
the first one in our efforts to not turn ourselves into fucking beasts, it is
Bad motherfucker.
it is a light beer from Miller. I can't guarantee
Miller
that I'm
time.
drinking the whole fucking thing, and nor is that the requirement of this little test here.
To health.
Damn it! It smells like wet dirt.
It does. It has a little bit of a fart smell.
If you're like dumping your cat box in the yard and then covering it up with your topsoil, that's what it smells like. That there's no flavor.
No, there is there's nothing to really bitch about because it tastes like nothing. I'm gonna pour this out in my glass.
The smell is fucking god awful, but the flavor, there is no flavor. It tastes like Coors Light.
Without that fucking weird metallic aftertaste.
The one I think tastes like banana peels, but yeah.
Good piss color.
Yeah, well, that's because that's what it turns into immediately.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Smells a little less like farts when you pour it into a glass.
It's not. This was never going to be the solution, by the way.
Yeah, I drink that if someone else brought it.
I'd drink
But
it
it
if
tastes like nothing.
I drink it if it's like midnight, we ran out of beer, and somebody left a bunch over here. I'd be like, well, I guess I know what our mission is now.
I'm gonna drink that just to get the fuck out of my fridge.
Hey.
Yeah.
A fine Pilsner beer, it says on the can. I don't find it to really be.
I'd rather
that's
have
an insult to Pilsner.
I'd rather have High Life.
You're not wrong. Although High Life doesn't accomplish the problem we've got. Otherwise, we'll just keep drinking Bud
there's
Heavy.
only one place I know of within a 25-mile radius of where we are that has Bud Light or has Miller High Life Light, and that's Albertsons and Clovis.
Yeah. Albertsons would be the place to go if we're truly wanting to get a whole cross section of light beers. But
Yeah. Too bad they don't sell their own brand of beers like they used to back in the day.
Albertsons with the that fucking
Yeah,
what was it, like a white can with black print just said beer on the side?
No, it was they had a little bit of money to throw to it. It was a purple. I only saw the 30 packs, but it said beer 30, and it was like purple. All the cans were purple, and for some reason the beer inside tasted purple too.
Tasted purple?
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but if you've had beer 30 from Albertsons, you know what I'm talking about.
All right. Next contender we've got. We might do a couple every week. There you go, so.
I always thought Platinums were Twisties. That's because
they are now. They are. They didn't used to be.
That's why you save $1 or $2.
I got a friend of mine at an old barbecue grill that fucking showed the marks that they didn't used to be. That fucking thing looked like it had been in a car wreck. All right. But like Platinum, color's about the same.
Yeah.
Well, and like I said, I used to drink this. Now, it's been almost a decade since I've had a swallow.
And 6% alcohol by volume. Let's keep that in mind. Where I think Budweiser might be about a 3.5.
That's flavor in there. It's not up to the standard of Bud Heavy, but it'll do nicely.
See,
I think I might have already found our fucking summer beer.
yeah,
Maybe.
man. I mean, and like I said, this is 6% alcohol by volume. You're getting into Guinness country here.
Well, which means we'll drink less at well, all right, hold on.
Sure we will.
Stop lying to ourselves,
Yeah,
I guess.
I'm going to drink one less.
Just going to be more fucked up. That's what the thing
That's
is.
right.
But it is quite a bit lighter on the calories, though. So we'll see where we're at on that. I don't know. We might keep trying next week. We might not. I don't know.
And if we do take it up, I may end up taking all the bottles and melting them down and make like airheads and shit.
I think you ought to. That fucking cobalt is it's on.
I love me some cobalt blue. I'd have to see if my kiln still works.
When's the last time you fired that bad boy up?
5.5 years ago.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So it's been a while.
Well, that's because you don't hang out in your shop on fucking cold winter nights anymore.
No. Yeah. No, back when I thought a kiln would make a great heater. Which, kilns only work if you got the top on them.
Yeah.
And if you just have them on, you're nearby it. If you feel heat, then that kiln's not doing its job.
Right.
Trying to keep all that shit in there. Yeah. Platinum's just, it's good.
It's
Fucking
all right.
good.
They always do say you get what you pay for. Man, if you're a Bud heavy drinker and you're looking for a summer beer, Platinum's not a bad fucking way to go.
You send Ruben a picture of this, I bet you $5 he'll show up.
Really?
Tonight.
All right, $5.
Yeah, I have $5.
I know. I know. I got a $5 just laying right on
I
top of my
think,
dresser.
like, can you break 100?
Why, oddly, I can.
You motherfucker. See, these trying times haven't affected you at all.
Hey, I am not finishing that light beer.
I will out of the principle of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people died to bring us this beer.
I'm not in a fraternity anymore. I don't need to fucking worry about that. I was the old US of MC.
All right, no shit. Oh, man.
Anyway, so we got you got any metal notes for the week?
Nah.
No.
Not really.
Yeah.
It is. Now, as far as birthdays today go, there is one pretty interesting one that we can talk about.
Okay.
It's old Darcy Brown's birthday. Bass player for the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, right on.
1968.
She
Like 52?
should be 52, yeah. Boy. It's just, I don't know if I'd ever talked about it on the show. I know we've talked about it amongst ourselves, but
Oh, we brought up the Darcy
yeah.
Pumpkins situation, I believe, yeah.
It's, man, because I'm always inclined to try to take whoever's side is in an argument with Billy Corgan, I will always take their side, which set me up for failure on the Darcy thing.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well,
no.
hey.
They're like, hey, she's had some noted meth issues.
Have you seen this woman?
She'd said, yeah, I don't need to show up and practice. We played that shit all the time for a decade. Yeah.
You tell me to get up, break out my guitar, and play fucking Neil Young. I don't think I could do Cortez right now. I'd have to listen to it again and then play it a time or two to be like, okay, I think I can do this now.
Yeah, but apparently Darcy is just like, nah, don't need that. I can come in hot. Just get it done.
You want me to lock the house up now and go with y'all? And she's like scratching her neck and shit.
Looking like Tyrone Biggums from...
I mean, it sucks they couldn't get the legit original Pumpkins back together. But could you imagine Darcy posing nude in like a new Smashing Pumpkins CD booklet now?
No.
I mean, they'd probably just have to find a picture at her house that she used to sell for coke or meth,
Kind of...
K, or anything like that.
She was kind of already getting a little like, all right, your better years were behind you back in the 90s.
I mean, I always thought she... Like, there was that 90s hot.
Oh, I thought she looked great when before Melancholy came out.
Yeah.
Siamese Dream? Whew. She's a dime piece. Well,
Absolutely.
okay, hold on. She was all right. She was all right.
It's just a disappointing fall from grace.
Yeah, but again, it's it forced me to have to go. You know what? Billy Corgan's right.
And a lot of lip work too, man. I'm looking at pictures of her right now.
Yeah.
She wanted to hold on to that youthful glow of the 90s a little too hard.
Yeah.
God, she looked fucking normal. It's funny how being away from Smashing Pumpkins is what made her look like a fucking alien.
Right. Well, and then then you still had the guy from Mythbusters, Grant Imahara. There. I'm joking.
Old James Imahara.
Always just sound just like Grant Imahara, but
Yeah.
Like, one's a smart nerd that builds robots, and the other guy plays in the Smashing Pumpkins.
Makes sense. Makes sense, right? But yeah, outside of that, I think LJ covered it pretty perfectly.
Yeah. Man, we got anything at all for metal this week?
I did see a guy play Dragon Force Through the Fire and the Flames on Guitar Hero at 165% normal speed.
Wow. Jesus, man. That's already fast to start.
And aced it. Fucking just perfectly aced it.
Is that on the new shit? The new, because they added some shit to the.
It was on Guitar 3.
Okay.
Back in 05, 06.
Because apparently people aren't all that goddamn hot on the new rig, right?
Oh yeah, that one that Ruben had brought out.
Right.
Fuck no, because they tried too hard to be like a real guitar, and that's when you stop being like a goddamn game. You want to play real guitar? Go get you a copy of Rocksmith.
Right.
That's what our buddy Jack did.
Yep.
I wonder if he's still playing it or not.
I hope so. He's at home a lot.
He certainly have the time to do it now, right? If not, I'm getting home like, let me borrow that wire. I'm going to see if I can record stuff through that thing. Let's see.
Chris Cornell's daughter, apparently they'd recorded her belting out one verse and one chorus for Hunger Strike. It's not anything to write home about. I don't want to sound like the asshole because people out there are like, man, that's Chris Cornell's daughter. She ain't her old man. She is not her old man.
Oh, no.
She doesn't have the range of her old man. Yeah. It's the novelty, and that's the only reason it got any attention. Have you checked out Metallica? They did
I was just about to mention that.
Blackened, right?
I was reading it on Metal Injection here. Yeah, Blackened from Quarantine. Looks like everybody's playing. It's like Lars. Yeah, fucking Hammett's playing his guitar. Looks like Kirk Hammett, Hetfield is on acoustic. All right, we gonna have to put that on later.
Yeah, and it's one of those where everybody does like it's a 4-piece. Well, you're gonna have 4 little squares with each individual band member doing their shit from their own house.
It's the new normal, man.
I hate that fucking term with the pack.
So do I.
It's the new normal for now until we get back to the old normal shortly. That's what we should be striving for. I fucking hate it when everybody wants to change the world, and it's a world I already kind of dig. So,
it was going pretty good. I actually,
not 2019 was a good fucking year.
Yeah, it was.
Well, with the exception of July. July sucked balls.
July sucked, but but Maynard and Company came to save the day back in October.
October fucking saved July. And then we
get
get into
the last 6
2020
months of the year.
with this bullshit. Month of April. It's my birth month. I love April usually. The last couple of years has been a little fucked. Like last year almost burned me down. This year it's this fucking whole pandemic thing. It's like, God damn, April's turning into a real ball licking bastard.
We're gonna have to move your birthday, man.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a crab boil for Labor Day weekend. So, and I'm going to reach out to some folks here as we get into fucking June and July and shit and tell them, hey, if you had a birthday that kind of fell during all the fuckery, I'm going to be trying to make it up for everybody and throw together a crab boil.
But what if you didn't have a birthday?
No, you can still come over and hang.
But I still want to be recognized for being older than I was.
No, yours is the 1st of January. Pack sand.
Well, I'll still be there.
I would ask if you got anything MMA related. I think we actually kind of led in the show right with that shit, right?
As far as our boner for the coming weeks, absolutely. There are a few headlines. I'll just run through a few of them here. Cerrone wants to fight Saturday, Wednesday, and Saturday of next week.
I don't. The problem I have with Cowboy Cerrone in this day and age
is the problem I have always had with him.
Yeah.
And he basically, I didn't mean to fucking railroad you over, but my cowboy rage came out.
Yeah. No. You're hell. I was going to let you go with that. Because the thing is, if it's somebody that is that's not on his level, he will destroy him, and he looks like a fucking world killer.
The Mike Perry fight.
If it is somebody that is better than he is, God damn it, he is exposed every time.
But the thing is it's a different Cerrone that shows up every time.
And he had even admitted that last fight
when showed up,
when McGregor fucking beat him in like 40 seconds, he'd even said, yeah, well, Donald showed up, Cowboy didn't. Well, motherfucker, that's your job. That's your job to get up for a fight.
And it's really... And this is strictly from a fan's point of view here, because I am a Donald Cowboy Cerrone fan.
Sure.
When him and Gaethje fought, I was conflicted as a motherfucker. When he and McGregor fought, I was more concerned. Because it just seems like when a fight where there's a lot on the line, Donald ain't interested.
Right.
He just wants to get in there and get it done.
Which I could appreciate that, and that's what makes you like that guy, because that's the fucking that's how that guy operates. It's like, man, I appreciate his moxie. He went in there knowing this is going to be a tough fight, got his ass kicked, but man, good on him. He got back up again and dusted himself up. Yeah, I know, but when he does that every time and 3 fights in a row, it's like, goddamn, I'd like to see him win one.
Yeah, I mean, dropped 3, and they were all finishes. It's a fucking bummer. Because that guy deserves to have a fucking title. He has a lot of records.
He's got a lot of records.
I think he does.
I have never seen him fight top-notch fucking competition and look great doing it.
As soon as he gets top 5, it starts getting a little wonky.
I think that tells you all you need to know.
And at 170, man. And
I think that tells you what you need to know.
There's not a lot of other places to go. No. I don't know. Maybe the fight with Pettis next week will give him a new step.
Well, because
if he's sweating Anthony Pettis and shit goes awry and he's like, well, Donald showed up again. Say, well, Donald needs to tell Cowboy to just stay gone then and go do your shit.
But you built a pretty cool, slick-ass looking saloon up there on his ranch. Yeah,
it looked pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, I was watching kind of
the
whole building of it and everything else. It's a Chasing Danger is what he called it, because his kid's name is Danger. And it's whatever.
He's having another kid.
Yeah.
Riot. Name the
Riot,
kid
yeah.
Riot.
Yeah, Danger and Riot. Really?
You have to teach these kids how to fight now, right?
Have to.
Unless they came out of the womb wearing tap out shirts, they're gonna need to know how to defend themselves, man. What's your name? Danger.
Yeah. Man. Well, let's want to move to the picks, I guess.
Yeah, fucking might as well, man.
It's going to be a little shorter this week, but next week I can guarantee you this. Next week we're going to have to keep an eye on time, because I think we'll probably scoot just a little on the side of long next week. So.
Yeah, we'll have a few things to talk about.
Yeah,
and we'll be in a lot better moods too.
All right. So the interesting thing is, what's your drink of choice on this Friday? We got some options this week.
Yeah, and beer options.
Beer options. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Platy on this.
Platinum is the right call.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to drink the rest of that piss warm Chongo here.
Good luck on it, because I'm pouring mine down the fucking drain.
I
know my septic tank's already going to say, what did I ever do to you, motherfucker? You know.
It's not that it's bad. It's just when you have decent beer for that long, and then, I'm sorry, this Miller Lite is just... It just ain't it.
Well, I know what the other 4 in that 6-pack are going to be. They're going to be the guest beers, so... let's see. Listening to this week.
Shittiest beers. Fuck, man, I'm going to be listening to some Quarantine Blackened.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, there's that.
And that will probably lead into a few other Metallica songs.
The Trivium, What the Dead Men Say, that one's one I'm still working on. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I'm trying to figure out to the degree that I like it.
Honorable mention to the 8 seconds of new Deftones music we heard yesterday.
Dude. Oh, my.
It sounds like adrenaline, dude. Sounds like adrenaline. And as soon as the singing started, it sounded like White Pony.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man.
And this was all from some dude's phone online. Not some dude's. I think it was Abe from the band.
Right.
So I'm really excited for that, too. And apparently it's getting close to being done.
Right. Well, no fights this week, but anything out of combat sports that from years gone by that you think people ought to check out?
Let's see. Watch if you have the ability to watch a card in its entirety, check out UFC 6. It's my personal favorite of the single-digit UFCs.
And why is that?
Because you get to see Tank Abbott be Tank Abbott right at the start of his career. The super fight with Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock is really fucking good. Overall, it's one of the best. Oleg Taktarov is in that, who became a pretty big name in MMA, but then went on to become a fairly decent name in acting in Hollywood.
Okay.
And he's the one that won the tournament. Spoiler alert. But watch for fucking Tank Abbott. Watch for Dan Severn and Ken Shamrock super fight.
UFC 6, Brandon's favorite. That ain't bad.
Favorite of the single digits.
Right.
We'll get to the teens next week.
Right. The other than that, I would say, and again, the reason I'd said combat sports, go back if you're a boxing fan. Go back. You got to go back to 1987. Marvelous Marvin Hagler was the WBC champion, middleweight champion. Dude had a fucking 62-3-2 record.
Damn.
Beat the piss out of Sugar Ray Leonard for 12 rounds. Lost the fight.
Well, that's boxing for you, man.
That's boxing for you. Yeah.
That is fucking boxing for
and
you.
And he went out, and that was his last fight ever. I like Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That guy was probably actually one of my favorite fucking fighters of all time.
I like George Foreman. But I got George Foreman in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, well, and he was heavyweight. I mean, heavyweights were, I mean, really, frankly, goddamn, Mike Tyson kind of owned that division. I mean, the only thing that was able to take Mike Tyson down was Prison and Buster Douglas.
Yeah, Prison, Buster Douglas, and apparently Evander Holyfield headbutting him all the time.
You could see
Would he
when,
blame
you
for
could
the
see when
fight?
Tyson
Yeah.
started to lose that stuff.
Oh,
man.
yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Ah,
As soon as he got the eye tattoo, it was over.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Not quite as long, but like I said, next week we're going to try to keep things gauged a little more because we might run the risk of running a little long next week because of 2 fucking fights that we're talking about on Friday next week.
Oh, yes.
But and check out Tier. We talked about reference Evening Star way back at the beginning of the show. That's not a bad thing to check out as well.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Well, hope you assholes, hope you good people have a fine week ahead. Thank God we're in the month of May.
We made it.
See all you good people on the 8th, and we'll pick it up again next week. Yeah?
Bye.